On June the 29th, 1973, 18-year-old Rita Jolly left her home in West Lynn, Oregon, for a quiet evening walk, something she loved and often did. She never returned. Despite numerous reported sightings in the days that followed, Rita's whereabouts remain unknown. Over the years, investigators examined several possible suspects, including the infamous serial killer Ted Bundy. Rita Lorraine Jolly was born in December 1955, the youngest child of Donald and Mary Elizabeth Jolly. She grew up in West Lynn with her two brothers and her sister, Jill Elaine. From a young age, Rita was drawn to nature, animals, and creativity. After school, she spent her time reading, writing poetry, and making art. According to Jill, Rita's talent was unmistakable. She filled folder after folder with poems and personal reflections, small windows into her inner world. The Jolly household valued education, curiosity, and independent thinking. Donald and Mary Elizabeth, both survivors of the Great Depression and World War II, met in law school at the University of Minnesota. They later opened a law office together, where Donald practiced and Mary Elizabeth worked as his legal secretary. Located at 918 Main Street in downtown Oregon City, this office was the center of their professional lives. Though the original building is gone today, now replaced by an open driveway and parking area right next to 916 Main Street, it stands as the physical birthplace of the family's journey in Oregon. Their home was structured, thoughtful, and forward-thinking for the era. As a child, Rita struggled with emotional regulation and sensitivity. Her parents sought help from a child psychologist, something uncommon at the time. Looking back, Jill believes Rita may have been on the autism spectrum, though such diagnoses were rarely given to children, especially girls in the 1960s. In high school, Rita often felt out of place. She disliked the social cliques and the pressure to conform. After she wrote a derogatory comment on a school wall during her junior year, she faced disciplinary action. Her parents defended her, urging the school to address the bullying and the exclusion she had endured. Rita thrived academically. During her senior year, she enrolled full-time at Clackamas Community College through a special program for advanced students. She excelled in creative writing and art, finding encouragement and acceptance in that environment. Although she did not attend classes at Westland High School that year, she insisted on participating in the June 1973 graduation ceremony. Just weeks later, she vanished. On June the 29th, around 7:15 p.m., Rita left home for a walk. She carried no money, no extra clothing, and no personal belongings, just the bright smile her parents would remember as her last. Witnesses later reported seeing her in the Robin Wood area and possibly on Sunset Avenue between 8:30 and 9 p.m. Another sighting placed her near the Oregon City Arch Bridge around 9:30 p.m. The following night, two young men told police they had tried to pick up a girl who resembled Rita, but it wasn't her. They left before giving their names, leaving investigators unable to follow up. Rita rarely hitchhiked. Even when friends offered rides, she often declined, preferring to walk. She sometimes walked the full 8 miles home from the community college. Her father described her as independent, introspective, and without a close social circle. Police believed early on that foul play was likely. They investigated 5 potential suspects, but no charges were ever filed. Years later, attention shifted toward a name that would become infamous. After receiving 2 death sentences for the murder of Kimberly Leach and the Chi Omega attacks, Ted Bundy sat on death row in Florida. Though he continued to deny guilt in those cases, investigators across the country believed he was responsible for many more crimes. Bundy was a prime suspect in 8 disappearances in Washington, including Linda Ann Healy, Donna Manson, Susan Rancourt, Roberta Parks, Brenda Ball, Georgian Hawkins, Janice Ott, and Denise Nesland. He was also linked to several disappearances in Utah between 1975 and 1976, including Nancy Wilcox, Melissa Smith, Laura May, Deborah Kent, and Susan Curtis. In his final hours, Bundy confessed to murders he had never previously admitted. He claimed to have killed as many as 37 women, including 2 unidentified victims in Oregon. Many believe these may have been Vicki Lynn Haller, who disappeared from Eugene in August 1973, and Rita Jolly. A third possible Oregon victim was Suzanne Ray Justice, who vanished in Portland that November. Of all his suspected Oregon victims, Bundy only ever officially detailed one by name, Roberta Kathleen Parks, who vanished in 1974. The other 2 Oregon confessions were taken to his grave, leaving detectives to rely on timeline matching. Rita fit Bundy's preferred victim profile perfectly. She was 17, had long brown hair parted down the middle, and vanished while walking alone at dusk. Yet Bundy's behavior remained frustratingly contradictory. In specific interviews regarding Rita, he actually denied involvement. Whether this was the truth or just one final psychological game from a master manipulator remains unknown. However, Bundy also told FBI Behavioral Science Unit agents that he did not begin killing until 1974 or 1975. He described an escalation from voyeurism to stalking, then to attacking women and fleeing, before eventually committing home invasion, such as the assault on Karen Sparks, one of his earliest known victims who survived. Despite his claims, Bundy remains a suspect in earlier cases, including the 1961 disappearance of 8-year-old Anne Marie Burr. His statements were inconsistent, self-serving, and often manipulative. To this day, no one knows whether Rita was one of his victims. The Jolly family never received answers. Jill Elaine recalled that their father believed Rita had tried to call home several times, silent calls, except for one, in which he thought he heard her say, "Mom, Mom," and then, "Dad," before the line went dead. Mary Elizabeth Jolly passed away in 2005 at the age of 85. Donald Jolly died in 2010 at 93, still holding on to the hope that his daughter might somehow be alive. Rita's 3 siblings continue to search for the truth. Her dental records remain on file, and her DNA was entered into CODIS in 2000. At the time she disappeared, Rita was between 5'5" and 5'6", around 130 pounds, with hazel eyes and medium-length brown hair parted down the center. She had a small scar beneath her right eyebrow. She was last seen wearing a brown wool Pendleton shirt, blue jeans, or green fatigue pants, heavy socks, and low-cut blue sneakers with buckskin heels. She may also have been wearing a red and blue checkered flannel shirt. Rita Jolly was a young woman with a brilliant mind, a tender heart, and a world of creativity inside of her. She deserved safety, understanding, and a future filled with the art and poetry she so loved. Instead, her story became one of unanswered questions and decades of quiet grief carried by the people who loved her most. Cases like Rita's remind us that behind every missing person poster is a whole life, a family, a childhood, a voice, a dream. They remind us that time doesn't erase love, and it doesn't erase hope. If you knew Rita, if you lived in the area at the time, or if you've heard anything over the years, no matter how small it may seem, please consider reaching out. Even the smallest detail can change everything. If you have any information about the disappearance of Rita Jolly, please contact the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office at 503-723-4949. Your information could help bring long-awaited answers to her family. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Rita. Thank you for keeping her story alive.